It's stunning to see that. And I remember years ago being on this committee, and they were looking at the infection rate in black women, increasing quickly. And I remember standing up saying, wait a minute, black women are not getting infected by gay white males. And they just looked at me. But I knew there was more to the story. And in time, we did find out. And we were infected not because we asked for it, but for a variety of reasons, many of which you've been hearing already. Childhood abuse by our caregivers, domestic violence, trauma, depression and other mental illnesses, partners who are leading a double life, partners who may have other sexual partners besides you, our own drug use, and risky behavior, or a partner who may have had a substance abuse history, you didn't know about it, or who was exposed to HIV in jail, or who are infected and don't know it. Excuse me. So I was thinking, so what do our young women need from us now? See, I realize that, sometimes when something happens to you and no one stops it, no one intervenes, people get angry. And I think sometimes we're not as supportive of our sisters as we could be. It's as if we're saying, well, I figured it out, you figure it out. And that's not fair, and that's not right. Our women need us. They need our love. They need our mentoring and coaching, yes, for sure. But they also need to be able to talk about and have a clear and comprehensive information and knowledge about many things. And so I'm really glad to see the women who are in here tonight. Thank you for coming out. And I put together like this laundry list. I basically, when I looked at all the things that I had sort of put in, when I first started writing, I began to break them down and put them into a chart and looking at a curriculum. So I'm just going to kind of go down this list. What do we need? What do our young women need to know? They need to know everything about HIV. Its history, its source, data, statistics, what Dr. Basola was doing today. They need to know that stuff. They need to know about prevention and transmission, the same with other STIs. They need to know about men on the down low, about the system of incarceration and what it's doing to our men and how that's fueling the epidemic. They need to know the statistics, the risk factors. They need to know about MSM. They need to know not stereotypes of men, not what I call misogyny. Misogyny is the hatred of women, and misogyny, what's really happening as opposed to just stereotypes. They need to know about sexual exploration, gender identity, homosexuality, heterosexuality, sexual exploitation, sex trafficking, prostitution, why women get co-opted, the damage it does to them, the damage it does to their families, and the damage done to other people's families. They need to know they can come to you and get answers or resources that you're willing to discuss with them and help them understand, no holds barred. They need to know about menstruation, contraception, condoms, sexual abuse, sexual attacks, and defense training. How to form healthy friendships. How to not only how to not see other women as the enemy. How not to be the enemy themselves. They need to know how they're being educated about their sexuality by images which objectify them. Our girls need to understand how to use what the good Lord gave them, but also how to be in control of it. How to handle that womanly weapon and to protect it with a fierceness. Not to be told just to cover it up and tell me I got what I deserved, but to teach me what the difference is between love and sex, respect versus gratification. They need to know about their bodies, how it works, to understand sexual pleasure, self-pleasure, and how to handle all of it, to understand their female power and how to wield it, how to shield it, and when to yield it. They need to know how to be dignified in what they do and how not to sell themselves cheaply. They also need to know what to do if they do get HIV or other sexually transmitted illnesses. I've been an HIV educator for many years, and I remember early on thinking, well, we're going in and we're talking prevention, but no one's talking about, but if you get it, as if I tell you about prevention, you won't get it. But, well, you know, we're really close to eradicating it. So, you know, it's important to talk about prevention, but we still have people that are getting infected, and we know that. So people need to know, oh my God, how do I live with this? What do I do? So they need that information, and they need the support. They need to know where they can get care. They need to know about medications, about how it impacts pregnancy. Recently, I've been holding a World AIDS Day event, and I've written a play that was in the event. In fact, some of the actors are here today. Would you please raise your hand? Kat's here, and Najeeba's here, and Felicia's here. And this past year, we put in the story. Hi, Felicia. Hi, Najeeba. Hi, Lily Rose. And Kat, where are you? I don't see you. Oh, you're right here at the camera. And so we're accelerated aging, constantly perched on the edge of economic disaster, or the general lack of economic security. But here's what it gave me. It gave me strength, honor, honesty, dignity, fearlessness, the pride and power that comes from embracing all that I am and standing proudly in front of my man, of any man or woman. It gave me the ability to finally be in charge of my sexual and spiritual home. It gave me knowledge, leadership, the capacity to be a true friend. It made me unbreakable, unbeatable, unshakable. It made me the woman that I've become. A woman unafraid of helping others find and reach their potential. I became the woman my mother couldn't be for me. I became the woman I wanted to see in the world. A woman I believe my mother would have been proud of. And it gave me an awesome story. Today my life is full of great people, like members of my World AIDS Day Planning Committee. Patrice, Najeeba, Felicia, and Robert, who couldn't make it tonight. And many awesome women like Wanda and Sanisha and Shioma and Ariane and Janice, and I know when I start naming names, I'm gonna forget, but you know who you are. You're here tonight. They're rock stars. And the other women are Women of Color Roundtable. And I have two co-workers here tonight from the Center for Social Policy, Brandon and Sylvia. Would you wave your hands? Thank you so much for coming out tonight. And Wendell, where are you, Wendell? He's here too. Or did he eat and leave? Wendell, where are you? Anyway, he was here. And I'm so grateful for all of your support. So here's how I hear that question today, if I could. Would I, knowing what I do now? So yeah, so here's how I hear that question, if you could change it, would you? If I could, would I, knowing what I do now, be so selfish as to only want to save myself? Looked at that way, the answer is clear for me. No. I want to be a woman that girls can look up to. So, as in bid whist, which is a game of skills and strategy, and in Boston is when a pair of players take all the books and their opponents get nothing, often accompanied with much trash talking. So I say, hey HIV, I done ran a Boston on you. That's right, I am a badass 61-year-old trash-talking black woman proud and alive with HIV. Bad girl jacket. And you know what? Anecdotally, since we're all Bostonians, and if we understand HIV is one of our greatest opponents of this century, besides poverty, unemployment, mass incarceration, etc., to name a few things. And since we're also poised at the brink of eradication, and thanks to research, that's our kitty, then as a community, why don't we together Run on Boston on HIV by running HIV out of Boston. Out of Massachusetts. Out of the USA. The world. Because we can do this. We can get to zero. So I guess my parents taught me how to play the game after thank you.